My name is Lauren Pavelka, soon to return to Lauren Connell. I am going through a divorce right now. Fortunately, the relationship is very amicable, but still a divorce is an extremely painful process, and it is something I never consciously wanted to experience. Interestingly, this process of divorce sort of mirrors some of my experiences with the Mandela Effect. Going down the rabbit hole of contemplating the Mandela Effect and going through a divorce have both pushed me toward more searching, self-awareness, and ultimately acceptance of who I really am. I think for all of us, the Mandela Effect represents the search for self or soul searching. So in my mind, it's kind of funny. For me, I think of it as the Mandela Effect. The ME is all about me, and my own personal search for self. And it's all about you and your own search for self. And ultimately, I believe we are one, kind of like Jesus explained in Christianity, we are one body, or in today's terms, one consciousness. At least that's what I think we are going for, is unity consciousness. For all of us who can perceive this phenomenon, I believe we are experiencing Gnosis. The word Gnosis comes from the Greek and means knowledge from experience, especially experience of divinity or things that are beyond our normal five senses of perceiving. It's not intellectual knowledge of something we've been taught by our parents or in schools. So for me, this is exactly what the Mandela Effect is, Gnosis. I come from a very Christian background. Nearly everyone in my family is in the ministry. So I could say that Christianity has always been an essential component to my identity. The first time I noticed what we are calling the Mandela Effect, I was just 13 years old, so I didn't pay much attention at that time. Then decades later, when I came into the full awareness of the Mandela Effect, I actually had a very difficult time. In metaphysics, it is said that our outer worlds reflect our inner worlds. So 2 years ago, through a series of strange coincidences, the Mandela Effect emerged into my life. And once my mind was presented with enough evidence of the Mandela Effect, my inner world was greatly disturbed. I went into shock. I could hardly speak. Processing this phenomenon was so difficult that my body nearly shut down. It was reflected in my outer world. I was in and out of the ER as multiple systems in my body were having trouble sustaining me. Physically, it's been a long road to recovery, and even still, I'm not quite there, but I'm getting closer, and I survived. That's what I'm grateful for. My hope in creating this new YouTube channel is that together we can prevent such an awful awakening for any other soul. I am so grateful to every person who's experiencing the Mandela Effect with me. You not only help me, but you help every other person on this planet who has already awakened, and you're making it easier for those who've yet to go through their own awakenings, because there is great comfort and safety in numbers. So again, I just want to say thank you. Many enlightened beings throughout time have reached what you all have reached, the state of Gnosis, though most seem to have done it with more ease and grace than was my personal experience. Because of my cultural and extremely Christian-based familial upbringing, I was deeply conditioned to understand divinity as something outside of myself. I worshipped Jesus, even though Jesus called us brothers and sisters, insinuating that we were the same, told us the kingdom of God was within us, and specifically told us, worship God, do not worship me. My current understanding is that God is consciousness, awareness, all that is, the darkness and the light. There is no gender, there is no separation. God is equally female as God is male. God is the ocean, the forest, the trees. God is you. God is me. God is all of humanity. 2,000 years ago, Jesus told us, my Father's house has many rooms. I think he was trying to explain quantum physics. There are many worlds. According to quantum physics, we live in a multiverse. I do not yet understand quantum physics very well, but from my own experiences, I could similarly say that my higher self or my future self, or since I'm a female, my mother's house has many rooms, and so does yours. Also, when Jesus spoke of his own miracles, he said, "You will do these and greater things." I know it might seem overwhelming to consider, but perhaps we have the same creative authority as Jesus. Perhaps we are creating the Mandela Effect. So the question is, what are you creating? And believe me, this was the most difficult question I have ever had to ask myself. In September 2017, I was so boxed in my thinking that I thought Joel Osteen was too new age because that is what my family had taught me. And then I had a profound experience where I finally listened for myself to one of his sermons on the radio. And then I decided his message was congruent with the God I knew. Then a few weeks later, Joel Osteen essentially became a Mandela Effect. And now his name is Joel Osteen. I am brand new to studying metaphysics and other religions, but with deep personal regret for many things in my own life, I believe the law of attraction has some relevance. For example, I inherited a genetic mutation in my DNA from my father, which predisposed me to a lifetime of battling multiple cancers. As soon as I was diagnosed with this syndrome, I began manifesting all kinds of cancers that I never had before. I got caught up in a vicious cycle that truly I think it would have killed me. And then I came into the awareness of the Mandela Effect. And this is why I also call it the miracle effect, because I think it saved my life. Now, I'm fervently studying ways of being a more conscious creator of my own life experiences. We live in the information age, and there are so many excellent healing resources that we have easy access to with the internet if we open our hearts and minds and learn from our brothers and sisters all over the world. Last summer, from the Mayo Clinic, I wrote a book called The Mandela Effect or The Miracle Effect, 13 Reasons Why I Am the Wolf and You Are Too, to give to my doctors as they were trying to piece together the physical symptoms of what had happened to me. I wrote this book from the perspective of someone completely unfamiliar with the law of attraction or any conscious knowledge of manifestation. I wrote this book from the perspective I held as I was coming into the awareness of the Mandela Effect. I was a very well-intentioned, devoted, but completely unaware Christian who was headed for disaster due to my own health issues. I hope the Mandela Effect or the Miracle Effect, 13 Reasons Why I Am the Wolf and You Are Too, gives peace to some of my Christian brothers and sisters who might still be struggling with the phenomenon. All of what I'm learning now is definitely new territory, but I hope to write more again soon. And to all of you who are experiencing the Mandela Effect, I think this is actually an exciting time once we collectively get a handle on it. And I just want to say thank you so much for being on this journey with me to create this collective, because it's all of us together, this collective evolution of consciousness. For those of you who knew me from my first little YouTube channel, Lights Unite the Great Awakening, I am so sorry to have disappeared on you. My account was mysteriously deactivated. I emailed YouTube but got no reply, so I am starting over. Hopefully this new little channel can launch without a hitch. And if you don't mind, I was wondering if you could please say a little prayer or send good thoughts, energy my way as I try to do this again. If you wouldn't mind, I would be really, really grateful. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you guys again in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.